November's coming very quickly. We've heard Liz Cheney go out there and go all the way from opposition to Donald Trump to now actively saying, yes, you have to. She believes the right vote is actually to vote for Kamala Harris. Where is your thinking on how you're going to vote?
I've known for quite a long time, number one, that I would never in my life vote for Donald Trump ever
That you made
again.
clear. That you did make clear. Yeah.
I hope so. Thank you for acknowledging that. I have also known for a long time, whether the nominee was at one point going to be Joe Biden, now Kamala Harris, that I was going to cast my vote for either candidate, now Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. In my personal view, now I understand that the way that people approach the way that they decide who to vote for is oftentimes deeply intimate and personal, so I don't ever want to try to tell somebody how to vote. But in my experience, number one, from being up close to Donald Trump, seeing his character, knowing who he is, believing him when he tells us who he is, and also who he chose as his vice presidential running mate, J.D. Vance, who's a whole separate conversation. It's just a despicable portrayal of the Republican Party. I am really, really proud as a conservative to have the opportunity to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in this election. Policy is important. It's very important to me. And there may be few issues that Kamala Harris and I would see eye to eye on. I hope that we'd be able to come to consensus on a lot more issues. But in saying that, the character of our leaders really matters too. We need to be able to elect people that we can trust to uphold our rule of law, people that we want our children to look at and to want to emulate. Kamala Harris is from a working class background. Tim Walz is from a working class background. Those are the people that Donald Trump claimed to represent, but actually exploited and manipulated their support. So, I say to Republicans who may be on the fence, I understand how frightening it can be to potentially break with your party. I also understand that there are concerns, and very valid concerns, about inflation. But Donald Trump and J.D. Vance cannot be trusted with the Constitution. They cannot be trusted to uphold our rule of law, and they can't be trusted to enact responsible policy. That in and of itself is disqualifying amongst many other things, some of them being that Donald Trump is also under federal and state indictments. So when it comes down to the decision for me to vote for Kamala Harris, I look forward to casting my ballot for her. And I think it's also really important to say, for me at least, that I will also be voting for Democrats in the House and the Senate too, just because I think it is so important that we get past this period of Donald Trump for America to begin healing. And once we're past that period, hopefully we can open up responsible policy debates in the future. But right now we need to focus on defeating Donald Trump.